Hey guys, so for the first video, I'm going to be breaking down Rogue Company in the meta. I've seen a lot of other opinions, and everyone's opinion online, a lot of different places for these characters. This video is going to be really for either new players or people that want really a competitive edge. I'm going to be breaking down all the rogues, and then I'm going to be going over and making a tier list at the end. I'd love to hear everyone's opinion on the tier list by the end of the video. And so I'm going to try to do all the rogues as fast as possible, looking at their perks, kits, and weapons. And then again, at the end, we're going to judge who's the best. What good team comps would look like. Alright, so we're going to break down Anvil first. He has Barricade, makes a big shield, and then Immunity, which he gains immunity to EMPs and slows and blind effects. You don't really see a lot of these. They did say that they were gonna buff them, a lot of the these kind of nades. So we'll see. I think this pass is gonna be way better a little bit after they buff everything. He has the Maw, which is an LMG, and then the Orbiter, which is a shotgun. So looking at his pistol, he has the Deagle, which again is a jack of all traits weapon. It has a big mag size. You really don't need to upgrade it. It's sort of insane without it, which makes him very good for beginning rounds, especially pistol rounds, because he can go straight into util. C4 is very good on him if you want to be aggressive with him. And then he also has the trophy system from Call of Duty. He gets to eat nades. Basically, you don't really want to run this on him unless you know they're playing like heavy nade characters. Like you see a Dima, this counters Dima's ability. So it's insane. You can end up getting 2. It's super helpful. And then looking at his perks, he has 3. The 3 really important ones are these 3. The reduced damage from explosives is really good for his shield play. The 25 armor, again, obviously he just becomes more of a tank. He's insane to move. 125 health is crazy. And then the downing enemies goes a little crazy with the shotgun. So overall, his perks pretty good. His utility is really focused around his shield game, and that just makes him a better character because of that. He has the good pistol, and then his guns are pretty good. I think they're solid. I think the Maw, it just recently got a nerf, so we'll see how good the Maw is going to be. I know that they increased the bloom on it because it was way too accurate before. The next guy, we have Chalk. So he has the Spaz shotgun and then the D40 SMG. The D40 SMG is very good at sort of doing everything. It beats out the MP7 at range and the MP X40 or something at range too. We'll look at that SMG later. It's just a very good SMG. It's not the fastest firing rate, but it makes up for it in damage range. And then he has the Stim Pack, which is insane. Chalk is very good at he has 2 roles. He could be a really good flanker, just because Stim Pack basically doubles your health. So he can take any 1v1 encounter if he stims before it, and he's usually going to win because he has double the health. And then he also is a very good entry because of Grit. And so Grit is really good for entry plays because you can run in, open up the fight for your team, get downed, roll out with Grit because you can roll while you're down, and then stim to heal back, and now you're back in the fight again. He's very good at those 2 different rules. Looking at his pistol, he's the Spitfire. I'm sort of in the middle with Spitfire. I know a lot of people love this gun, and everyone thinks that it's OP because it is an SMG pistol early game. But it really needs this tier 1 upgrade. And that sort of hurts Chalk and hurts a lot of people that use the Spitfire. We'll go more into the other characters that run the Spitfire, but you really need a 20 mag size. 15, it takes about 14 bullets to kill somebody with it. So it is a very tricky gun. The second upgrade on it isn't even that good, which sucks. Like, it's sort of worthless. So it puts you in a weird predicament where it's like, do I go into the tiers, or do I go into his insane Semtex grenade? Semtex grenades are probably, in my opinion, the best utility in the game. You can basically throw them at insane rates with the upgrade, and then the explosion radius upgrade makes it as good as a frag grenade, if not better, because you're throwing it super fast. It can stick to walls. It can stick to people. It's just so versatile. It's crazy. It opens up so much for Chalk. And then looking at his perks, this perk right here, if you have it, and they're running any character, whether it be a Dallas, a Phantom, or a Talon, you're pretty much a counter to them. Hold on. Aimed on sights is very good for him as well, because basically he doesn't suffer from a speed penalty, and as an entry, you can hit precise shots. Or if you're doing a 1v1, you're getting precise shots while moving quick. Another one too, replenish is very, very good. It's good for if you're doing that flank route, you pretty much can spam a whole team with your SMG with it. And then obviously life drain, very good as well. Just because he won't die. He just won't die. If you have life drain, you stim, you kill somebody, you're hurt, you go back to full health, you do it all over again. He's really good at those two roles that we talked about. Dallas, in my opinion, very interesting character. He has the 30 KS, which is a really good AK. It is the slower firing rate of the two AKs. It has 20 bullets, and then he has this right here, which is the devotion. This is sort of his special gun. It's like a cowboy repeater. It does a lot of damage. If you can two tap people with this, it does like 59 damage. Or you could one tap and then hit them in the body and they're down. His ability is recharge, so he basically gets a consistent reset of target finder, which it reveals the closest enemy to your team unless they have counter perks, which makes Dallas a little bit interesting because of that. He does get countered a lot. Recharge is very good if they're not countering you, because you just scan, and your teammates. It's nice because they can see it outlined. It's not just on the minimap. Looking at his gun, he does get the revolver, which is a very, very interesting pistol. It's a headshot magnet. If you're gonna hit the headshots with it, it's very good. This gun right here, insane to double up on. He has really good tier 2. Once this gets to tier 2, because it has damage range bonus, which is crazy in this game, you're popping heads and you're chilling back the whole time pretty much during pistol round. You scan, you pop heads, you scan again. Very interesting pistol. He's the only person in the game that has it. EMP grenades are okay. They're not the greatest. They're really not. Incendiary grenades, again, okay. I think these probably are worth it, but he sort of has a perk order that Dallas has to go by, which he has armor for a DPS that has armor. It's insane. Like, he's a really good intel player. And this just helps so much when you already have a high damaging rifle. And then downing enemies, he can also go for wipes. Replenish is okay for him. He does get bounce back, which is also good, and then stalker. So really, he has some good perks. He is a little bit more of an interesting tree because I think that this AK, when it gets maxed, just goes crazy. It's probably the best AR in the game when you can max it. The devotion, also a good gun. I use it frequently less just because the 30 KS is so good when it's maxed. It hits like a truck and it's automatic. And again, he has incendiary grenades. They're okay. Alright, so Dima, another interesting character. He gets the other AK. It has a faster firing rate, really. Less damage, but bigger clip. And then the Mamba, which is a heavy hitting 3-shot burst rifle. His passive burned enemies when you down them. Your team can see them. Not that good. And then what makes Dima so good is this cluster grenade that basically pulls anybody out of cover. What it does is you shoot a grenade launcher, 3 nades come out of it, and it's pretty much an insta down if you're caught into it. Dima gets the Deagle, which again, good pistol. EMP grenades, you're never really using these with Dima, just because he has the frags. And frag grenades are insane with him, because you literally can get to the point where your frag grenade, and then your grenade launcher just pulls enemies out. You're insane utility for your team, and really good at taking points because of that. For perks, he has weapon swap and reload speed, and then he has the reduced delay, and then replenish and life drain. The issue that I find with Dima and a couple characters that have these two perks is you're really picking one or the other. Like, you don't need increased reload speed and also this, and usually replenish on Dima makes this like an LMG. Like, once you get like 40 mags, you're killing a dude at least in 20. This gun becomes insane. The Mamba, also really good gun. For long range engagements, this thing's a shredder. If you hit a full clip on someone, I believe it's doing about like 96. So you really, if you can full clip a headshot, they're done. They're put down. Glitch, I know I don't have him unlocked. He's insane. I'm just gonna say that right now. So he has the spaz, not the best. It's a shotgun. It's whatever. And then he has the MLPX. So this is the gun I was talking about earlier, the SMG. Insane firing rate. If you want to compare it to something, compare it to like a vector. Like it's gonna shoot so fast. If you see this gun close up as an SMG, it's usually gonna like beat you. It's crazy. He has intuition, which he can see enemy equipment through walls. A lot of people don't know this, but also paired with hack, which basically he can infiltrate anything, whether that be Anvil shield or even enemy C4s or claymores. He can hack people's claymores. People don't know that in C4. It's crazy. He gets the deagle, good pistol. Again, what makes him insane? His move is crazy. Like he's a counter to pretty much everything. He's really good. He can hack people's shield or maps. Crazy. And then he gets Simtex, which again is probably the best um, grenade you can get. It's a really good gadget. He gets increased reload speed. Um, Evade's a really interesting perk with SMG users. He has tracker rounds, and then Sixth Sense, which in my opinion, Sixth Sense is probably the worst 10 perk in the game. Don't ever buy this. It literally doesn't do anything. Who cares? You should probably know if an enemy's looking, to be fair. Okay, and then we have Lancer. An insane roamer. Elusive, she basically gets unlimited reloads because if you roll with her, your gun's back to full. Quick and quiet is crazy. It's basically dead silence, so no one can hear your footsteps. You run double the speed of everyone else, and then at the same time, you cannot be scanned by anything. So she is a huge counter to Dallas's, an insane counter to any Intel character, really, and just a great roamer. This striker is gonna get buffed. It's not that good. Be real, it's not that good at all. The 24S is a really good close range, fast firing rate weapon that can also go a little bit at distance. That's a very good SMG. She has the Spitfire. She falls into the same issue that I think Chalk has and a lot of characters with this do, where it's like, do you go mag size or do you go Semtex grenade turn one? Looking at her perks, she has Life Drain, which is probably her most important perk. You don't really need padded steps. You don't really need shredder rounds. Tracker rounds are okay, but really you're roaming, so I don't know. Helping Hand, again, you're roaming. And then Stalker's really good on her because she's moving so quick. Overall, very good character, very strong. Really good at roaming. If you love roaming, I suggest you try Lancer out. She basically, her rollout to the map is insane because she's playing spots that defenders are never ready for because how fast she is. Phantom. This character is really interesting. So she has delayed health regen when she hits somebody, which I don't know. Health regen in this game is so quick. It's okay. And then nanosmoke, which nanosmoke it reveals enemies that are in this. It's just a smoke grenade, and you can see people's outlines if they're in it, unless they have the counter perk again or their lancer, and they won't be seen in your smoke because they're able to do that, which again makes the smoke sort of worthless. The sniper, very strong if you can get the headshot. The issue is, from what I've seen, a lot of people cannot hit the headshot. Sniping in this game is hard. It's honestly harder than like long shot and gears. It's very, very hard to hit the headshot. It does 80 to the body. Nobody ever goes this because, let's be real, you're playing a sniper. Use the sniper. Her pistol, very good at close range. It's a shredder at close range. Distance, it's okay. Grenade, she gets grenade, and then she also gets this special thing, the sticky sensor. Really good at revealing enemies. She's really good at holding like sights or playing aggressive on her own and looking down long angles. That's all you're really going to use her for. She does have cloaked, which is again a really good perk. It's a must-have for if they have any intel. She has stalker. Again, really good. Weapon speed reload. You don't really need this. Life drain is interesting on her, and then tracker rounds. Overall, Phantom is an interesting character. I think she's played a little bit too much for what she's really worth, but that's just my opinion. Next, we have Ronin. Basically can't be seen by anything, like scan-wise on the minimap. A ballistic knife is like an insta-down throwing knife that explodes if an enemy passes a certain vicinity. She has the quick AK, so the 40 bullet one that it has low attack speed, or low attack damage. And then she has the SLC, which is like the MP7. Very good at high firing rate, close range to medium range SMG. She also has the Spitfire. She can also fall into the category of, do I go and upgrade my Spitfire or do I go grenade? Usually for her it's a little bit easier because the knife is sort of like a grenade. She can max Spitfire right away. Looking at her perks, she has replenish, which is really good. Again, Sixth Sense is absolutely horrendous. You either have to pick between Nimble Hands or replenish, and she has evade, which works really well for her. Actually, she's a good character. Saint, a character that I think from all the lists that I've seen is a completely underrated character. He can revive a teammate basically from anywhere on the map, which makes him insane. He's the only character that's really the medic in the game. Medical expertise, it's interesting. Basically he heals for 80 every time he gets a res, which is really good. It's super situational because really what has to happen is Saint needs to be going for a team res while also in the middle of a fight, and then once that res pops back to full health, he can keep going on the engagement. He has a special gun that has an ACOG. It's like an M4 with an ACOG, and then he has the Mamba, which is the 3-shot burst gun. In my opinion, both are very good. This gun right here has some crazy angles that you can only see through scopes on like boxes and stuff. It's very good for pixels. He gets the Deagle, good pistol all around. We already know. He gets trip mines, which are very good for him defensively. I think it opens up a lot, and he's also good at anti-roaming because he's chilling in the back a lot. You know, the trip mines really help for guys that are going to roam on you. He has the 25 armor, which is huge for him. Really good with tracker rounds as well because he is that support, but the most important item you can get with him is Helping Hand because he is the medic. He also has Cloaked. He pretty much has like 5 really good perks here. He's a really good character perk-wise. Next we have Scorch. She has the Orbiter and then the MP7. She's immune to fire, so she's just literally can run through anything that's fire, incendiary grenades. And then she has Overheat, which basically makes it to where all the damage you do extra damage over time. And she has the A3 Salvo, which is insane for a pistol round. It's really good. It's a 3-shot burst Glock. With the fire act on her for pistol round, the fire makes it just crazy. Like, she's insane at pushing. Her punch is really good. She has a different kind of punch. She doesn't actually get a melee weapon. Instead, you just buff her melee, and it's really good. She gets incendiary grenades, which is sort of a must pick for her because you can pressure a guy, and then you can run through your own incendiary grenade and just shock them. She then also gets the 25 armor and then the quick reload. She also has replenish. Again, you have to choose between the two. Both are very good. Who do we have next? We have Talon. He has a SKS, so like a one-shot burst rifle, and then he has the really fast firing rate gun. Talon, I think, is an underrated character. I think he's probably the best intel in the game. I think he's better than Dallas. We'll get more into that later. But he has the radar dart, so he can basically shoot a dart from anywhere. There's no skybox, so if you get really good at playing Talon, you can learn some insane darts at the beginning of games. And then he has mag gloves, which you don't really use a lot, but he can pull guns from anywhere. The issue with this is sometimes you pull pistols instead of the main gun, and it's sort of annoying. He gets the same suppressed pistol as the sniper Phantom, and it's pretty good. He gets C4, which is really good again. C4 is insane in this game. And then his perks are sort of not the greatest. Life Drain is very good on him, and then again the increased reload speed, but other than that, he's not really good for perks. Then we have Trench, one of the most insane characters if played correctly. I think I haven't seen a lot of good trenches, but guys, he's crazy. He's so crazy. So he starts with an extra nade. Whatever nade you pick, he starts with 2. He also has barbed wire, which is pretty much not able to be destroyed. A lot of things don't break it. And what it does is it's just barbed wire. He can run through it fast, but everyone else, even his own teammates, get slowed in it. He has the 20 bullet AK, so high damage, low firing rate, and then he also has the SKS, the one-shot burst DMR. He starts with a deagle. He gets tear gas grenades, which what it does is it disorients the enemy's screen, and they can't ADS. It's really good with him to go up and increase the grenade count. You get 3 tear gas grenades, which is insane for pulling enemies out of cover. He's really good at just being great utility. He also gets the trophy system. I would prefer the tear gas grenades just because they have so much more versatility than the trophy system does. A lot of the time, I know he's an anchor, but having the tear gas, it gives him really good chances on attacking to really help his team out and create good openings. He gets 25 armor. Again, Headstrong's probably one of the best top perks. His other perks, all right, but usually for him, you're usually getting this, and then you're popping off with tear gas grenades because you're insane utility. Trench is very good at being a utility kind of team player. Last character is Vi. The Nightshade is a very good assault rifle. It's more of a closer range assault rifle with a higher firing rate. Very strong. She has the S12 Tactical and the Deagle. She also has tear gas grenades and incendiary grenades. She gets cloaked, really important. She also gets replenish, and then 6 cents worth. And I didn't go over her abilities. So she has Vile Poison, which it creates basically these poison things on the ground that hurt you over time. And then what happens is you can't heal back. It hurts you. I don't know if it's forever, but I know it's for a really long time. Vi's is one of the only characters I don't have. Strictly because not as interesting to me. But she's able to reduce the enemy's maximum health, so you're going down to like 80 health usually before you roll out of the poison. And what that does is it increases her health, so she goes up to 125 health, which is basically a free armor every time she poisons somebody. She's really good at stopping people, getting people out of cover. That's pretty much it for her. All right. So that's my quick rundown of all the operators. Now let's get into the final tier list. All right. So here is our tier list, my final tier list, and I'll go and do a quick rundown of why I put these characters in the spot. Okay, so starting off D, we're gonna go from the bottom to the top. I have Scorch. My issue with Scorch is I feel like her damage over time is not long enough, and it doesn't really work well with her weapons. The shotgun that she has is sort of worthless with her move, because a lot of the time you're one tapping with that shotgun anyway, if not two tapping with all the armor. It doesn't fix anything. One body shot with the shotgun and her fire buff does just as much as Anvil doing a shot and then another shot. They're both down no matter what. So Scorch is sort of a useless character in my opinion. I don't think she makes up for it in anything, and I think she's actually really to be desired for. The other character I have down here is Vi. Again, she just has a lot of stuff that's to be desired for. I really like her assault rifle, but she doesn't really make up for it with her poison grenades. Her poison grenades are just a little bit better incendiary grenades because they're spread more, but at the same time, it takes her a while for cast time to come out, and she's not really that good. The only thing that I really like about her is her Nightshade. Her Nightshade is really good, but because of that, she's a D tier as well. So going to C, we have Dallas, Phantom, and Ronin. Ronin strictly because she has a lot to be desired for with her knife. I think once the game sort of gets fleshed out more and people pay more attention to sound cues, you can hear her knife from a mile away. You know where it's gonna be. It's not really good, and a lot of the times the only way that you're gonna get plays with it would be running out and throwing it at somebody straight up. Just either bring a frag grenade on another character or get a better roamer because there are better roamers with better abilities than just not being able to be seen. There's literally her passive is a perk, so it's not that good. Um, Phantom, again, she's really situational, really good at long angles for certain sites, attacking and defending. But really, her smoke grenades aren't that good. They get countered by a lot of characters that can push. A lot of the time, for a lot of these maps, you're getting close range engagements, so it's really hard for her to get off a bunch of good shots at once, just because utility and how short everything is. She has a hard time on a lot of maps. Dallas, a character that I think starting out I thought was very good, but looking at it, a lot of characters counter Dallas. Dallas gets shredded a lot of the times based off of him running in, scanning, not knowing that somebody's there because they have a stealth perk on him, and just shredding him. He loses a lot of the time because of that. And also, if he doesn't get a kill, his doesn't get a scan back. So that's really bad as well because better intel character Talon can pull his dart at any time, throw his dart anywhere he wants to throw it, and see multiple enemies on Russians. Also around corners. Because of that, Dallas is down here. I think that he has a lot of room to be desired for. I don't know, either give him 2 charges for a scan, or it's just really hard because people can counter his ability, and once he uses it, it's out. Trench and Chalk, looking at B tier. So Trench again, very good character. I think he has a lot of good utility, both on attack and defense. He just doesn't have the best utility, but having the 3 gas grenades is very good. He might honestly be my dark horse for moving up in the meta. We'll see more when the game comes out fully and the meta comes out, but I think Trench could be an A tier, even S at some point if he sneaks up in there. I wouldn't be surprised. Chalk, the reason why I have him this low to B, even though he's my favorite character, he's my main. Chalk has a lot to be desired for in his SMG at times because he does lose a lot of SMG 1v1s based off the fact that his SMG isn't the best at short range because of the firing rate, but it's also not better than an AR at range. So it's in this weird little boat. What makes Chalk so good again, we broke it down earlier going over his stuff. He's just a really good situational character for 2 different roles. He's insane at 1v1s because of his stim. I think at times he's a lot to be desired for because once he uses that stim and he gets down, you're just sort of rolling around. So unless you're really making one big push with Chalk, there's going to be a lot of issues a lot of the time just because he's so limited with a lot of his detail. But he's a very good character. So B is pretty good. Dima, Talon, Anvil, and Lancer are my names. Dima, his utility is crazy. He can literally not just push people out like Trench can with his nades, putting his nades there. His nades will hurt you if you stay. Right? Trench, you could still lose to a guy that's full spraying without ADSing. Dima, they either die or they move. And that's what makes Dima so good. Not just that, but his grenade launcher cast and explosion time is crazy. Um, he's just very good at putting a lot of pressure on teams to move around. Just insane utility. Talon, the best intel in the game, in my opinion, just because he can move his dart anywhere. And I know people don't know this yet, but as people practice more and more with skyboxes, Talon's dart will be crazier and crazier and crazier. Um, he's a very good character. I think his weapons are a little bit what's holding him back from being an S, in my opinion. It's just it creates some awkward feels with him depending on what you're bringing. I think honestly the DMR is a little bit better for him just because he is playing more at a range and can throw his dart in different places. And then his passive with the gloves they're fine. It's just it's a cool little design. Anvil's up there because Anvil is gonna be really good for pushes. Anvil's gonna be really good for countering a lot of things coming at him, whether it be like a Dima or anyone with nades, really. And he's good at really getting some crazy plant spots off with his shield. Not just that, but people don't know this. He can pop his glass on the shield, so as a really good anchor, and also a guy that's gonna get the bomb plant and defend the bomb because he can do a lot of shotgun dances and a lot of different dances around his shield, or he can laser a whole team down with his LMG around corners. He's just a very, very good character for both sides. Not just that, but he can also put down defensive shields or sort of bait people into coming into him and then just going crazy. Lancer is probably the best roamer in the game, strictly due to the fact that she gets to play at her pace and no one else gets to play at that pace. A lot of rollouts are completely different because when you're defending, I know if you've played the game so far, you're probably happened once or twice. You're looking for a guy that's going to hit the corner, and all of a sudden the dude's to your right, already into your bomb like sight because it's a Lancer. Lancer runs at ridiculously crazy speeds. You can't hear the footstep either, which makes her rollout even more dangerous. And not just that, but she counters the scans because of her quick footsteps. And because that move also just it stops her from being seen. She has very good weapons for what she does, and because of that, she's an A tier. Now going into my S tier, I have Glitch and Saint. Glitch is a must pick, and Saint is a must pick in my opinion going into Team Comp. The reason why is I've seen this so much and it makes no sense. Saint is a must pick strictly because he has the ability to res anybody at anywhere at any time, and also has good distance like rifles that can put a lot of pressure. Not just that, but he has claymores, and he's just so damn versatile at being able to res his teammates. No one else in the game has that. A lot of the times in this game, sometimes when you're hung out to dry, you're hung out to dry with Saint Saint can pull up next to his teammate that just got downed, literally fight while also rezzing, or he can help a roamer out. Say you go into a 1v1, roamer goes down, the other guy goes down, Saint's got you. Saint's always there for his teammates. He's so versatile and he's so important. And I don't see enough Saint being played. And I also, one thing I will say about the Saint players right now, they are not paying attention enough to their teams. I think as the game goes on more and more and people start understanding the mechanic more, Saint as a team player is just crazy. He's a must pick. Being able to res anywhere, must pick. He's really good at, say a guy gets down, he can play crossfire on the guy, use him as bait while he's getting rezzed. If the guy gets rezzed, Saint probably gets 1 or 2 picks using the guy as bait. If not, Saint probably still gets 1 or 2 picks because they're going for the guy who's down. And then Glitch, the last character, an S tier character. He's insane. Glitch just counters everything util wise. He can break Anvil's shield. He can stop people from looking at the minimaps. He can detonate C4. He can detonate people's other items like claymores. He's just so good at being able to be a counter. Really, what you would look at, I'm going to break this down right before we end the video here. If for all my people that really want to be, really competitive and sweaty in this game, a really good comp you could basically base off the gate would be like a Saint, a Glitch, right? Because you have the two versatile characters, the two must picks. You need these guys to be good, right? And then you could add an Dima, an Anvil, right? You could go Dima, you go Trench for insane util, or you could just go Lancer and then a Dima, or Lancer and an Anvil with these four, right? Now you have your Roamer, you have your two guys that are going to just go crazy because of what they can do, and then you have your Pusher, who's going to be really good at being, again, counter. Or you can just go crazy aggressive with these two, and then throw in like a Lancer and a Chalk, have 2 entries, basically have this guy roaming, this guy's your entry. You're backing him up with Glitch because Glitch is also using an SMG, and then boom, you just run in. Glitch breaks his Anvil wall. He counters a lot of different things. And so that's sort of my breakdown with the comps and where I'm sort of figuring the meta is going to go with these characters up here. I think the more people start playing this game and start realizing this character's not really too good for team play, they're going to go down here. Because these are a lot of selfish characters that have 1 or 2 good things about them, and then they're worthless. These characters have a lot of upside. These characters, not so much. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you have a different opinion or anything at all, just let me know. We're also streaming this game every single day on Twitch TV, Blitz647. Thank you guys again for watching my video, my first breakdown of this game. I'm excited to see where the meta goes. More tier lists to come out when we get more updates for this game.